looking at a couple of bills. The Bernie Sanders bill was on the floor. It was an omnibus bill about a month ago. I don't know if you guys are tracking that bill. What's that?
The one that.
No, this was an omnibus bill. Is a bill that contains many pieces of legislation. And in this legislation, there was quite a bit about PTSD.
What's the bill number?
It was 1862.
Yeah,
Yes, 1862. Yeah, take a look. So we voted to proceed, which, not to get too technical about the four procedures in the Senate. We voted to proceed onto the bill, but the bill was blocked, which means that other senators.
Why?
Oh,
you have to be
very familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to dig into that specifically. I mean, obviously, it's a huge bill. I think there were some issues with cost and issues with it, whether the VA, considering their challenges now, would be able to actually.
They have no clue what they're up against.
Right. Yeah. So that was another issue with the bill, real quick, was that I think some folks felt that it would create more problems. Not problems in the sense that it wouldn't help, but the VA couldn't absorb more than they're already doing now.
Right.
The challenges that they're having. I know that Senator Pryor's been an advocate. We've met with the VA on a couple of occasions to talk about the backlog.
Right.
And I know there's several bills out there for
I happen
accountability.
to get everything I've done. I've had good luck there.
Yeah.
As far as that.
Sure.
But now the medical part of it, it's.
Yeah.
Well,
that was part of the bill. Part of that was alternate treatments for veterans. Now, I don't think cannabis was part of that because I think it's still controversial.
They okayed LSD,
now,
but they won't okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do you know if the senator has taken a position on medical cannabis?
I don't know. It's not. I don't work the medical issues. I work the VA issues, and I wouldn't think so at this point. I don't know where he's at in reviewing that, just because of Arkansas as a state.
Right, it's
fairly
about is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Tennessee, so I mean, same thing. I know our state legislation took it up recently in the state of Tennessee, and I don't think it got very far. I think they're looking at for agriculture I think last thing I read for Tennessee, for example.
It's looking like our hemp bill is going to go all the way through, but
just to grow for.
I think the medical will go through this round. We only missed it by a very slim margin this time.
So the reason that we say that medical cannabis is a veterans issue is because it is one of the safest, most effective treatments for post-traumatic stress.
Sure.
And
we're not being treated equally as veterans, because in a legal state you can get it for it. And I've been on every kind of medication.
Sure.
And I refuse medicine.
Sure.
The VA doesn't know what to do with me because I don't want medicine.
Yeah.
I don't want pills.
No, I think that there's definitely the research is heading in that direction. I think the VA and the federal government's always a little slower to respond. And it's more of a state issue at this time, but obviously the VA is not a state entity.
Well,
it's a federal issue,
But
they're recognizing it in legal states. The VA is.
Are they? Okay.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
They are. It's a federal issue. Because it needs to be reclassified into the proper category.
Okay.
So, do you have time to meet again on Monday at all? I've got a friend who is an advocate for veterans, and he has a lot more experience.
Okay.
And I think that I think that you and he could have a really great conversation.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't mind. That's fine. I need to look at my schedule and see what I've got available. Can I shoot you guys an email?
Yeah.
And let you guys are here all week, or
Yes.
you guys are okay weekend?
All week. And if
Okay.
So you were active Army?
I'm still on active duty, yes, ma'am.
if Monday doesn't work, we're gonna be around on Friday.
Okay.
Too. So.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'll be happy to sit back down and talk to whoever you want to bring in and discuss, and I'll take a look at this too to see, where we stand on it.
Yeah, that'd be
So.
that'd be great.
Okay.
You know, the government,
We saw
the government does provide marijuana for people that sue the government.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they do.
they did not they didn't here.
That's for real.
It's
they really do.
Okay.
It's a can, or it used to contain cannabis, and it gets
2001.
it gets shipped to 4 remaining federal patients
Okay.
from the federal government, and they grow it at the University of Mississippi.
Okay. Interesting.
So
Yeah,
No, I wasn't tracking that at all.
yep,
Yeah.
it's-
They
No,
know
yeah.
all these things. They
Yeah.
know all these
No,
things.
I know that there's alternate treatments, and that once again, if you take a look at the Sanders bill, there were some alternate treatments, ointments for techniques to treat the PTSD.
Right.
It wasn't just PTSD; it was everything from limb loss to
Right.
psychological issues, what have you. So I think that
Yeah, a lot of people are leaving the country just to get
yeah,
certain treatment.
sure,
Yeah.
Moving out of state. I mean, going
Yeah.
to different places. It's,
right. But that portion of that bill, if you guys have a chance, take a look at that.
Yeah,
it's
we will.
interesting. So I don't think that medical marijuana was included, but I think it's a
No.
step probably where you all would like to go with it. So, but
Yeah, we're just not wanting the pharmaceutical drugs in our system.
yeah.
Because it messes us up more than.
No, there's a lot of, you're not the first group that has been in here, veterans group or advocates that discuss challenges with pharmaceutical drugs. You have some on the extreme left or right, however you want to see it, as like, hey, don't need them at all, to those that, hey, we need to be a little more wary about how veterans are prescribed medication.
Yeah,
which I
if
agree.
I was
And
to
there's
take everything I'm prescribed,
Yeah.
I'd be dead from side effects.
Yeah, and there's a shortage of mental health professionals in the
Yeah,
VA.
they flat out
so
told me they don't know what to do with it.
yeah, I think that's one of the challenges too, is they don't have enough in the VA now to deal with some of the problems that we're finding now.
Right.
With the transition of veterans coming off of 2 wars and the downsizing of the Army, from 570,000 to what's going to end up in probably a couple of years around 450. So you got
That
a lot of folks out there.
Yeah, they're fixing to have a mess.
It's an influx,
yeah.
Can you guys create a job training program that teaches vets to become mental health?
Well, that's an interesting point. I mean, there's.
I think vets should.
yeah,
I don't think
think
people
we
that
have
serve
a-
vets
well,
should be
yeah.
handling vets.
I don't think that the program itself, I think, is going to require medical training.
Right.
Which I don't. There's schools
They're
out there that do
not-
that already. I
yeah.
think what one of the bills that's out there that came out recently. I'm trying to think with Senator who's got it out there, and we're taking a look at it. It's basically just like loan forgiveness. It's kind of like if you graduate from whatever University of Arkansas, Princeton, Yale, whatever university with your doctorate or your you'd be a medical doctor,
Right.
your MD.
Your MD.
Then they would forgive loans or what have you to go
For
work for the VA
working for the
for
VA.
a period of time. That's kind of how the bill set up. It's kind of an incentive program. I think they just have a hard time keeping these docs. And I would say, I don't know for certain, I haven't looked into it that deeply, but probably the VA probably doesn't pay as well as you know, private medicine does. You know.
And there's also
Yeah.
and
Sure.
there's also probably a very high level of burnout.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
It's hard.
Yeah, no, there's some challenges there that I think everyone recognizes here. It's just how to best move forward and reform the system itself. So,
It needs reform. I mean, it's just protocol.
Yeah.
It's just
So-
how it fits into protocol.
So, what reforms would you or would the senator like to see?
Well, I think part of the problem is the efficiency within the system itself. Is like trying to better train it to a certain extent. I know that Senator Casey from Pennsylvania has a bill out, you know, to reform the system, and one part of it's not like, hey, we can't. I mean, if you continue to throw too much legislation at the problem, it's not going to fix it. You got to find out what the problem is
Right.
and then fix the problem. And I think what they're trying, the interesting bill, they've done quite a bit of studies on this, is that you know, just to increase the efficiency on how these things are handled. For example, the claims backlog. Sometimes you don't get the right person that knows how to fix the problem. And there's an incentive system there, which is interesting, is they try to incentivize the program so the workers within the VA, you know, get a bonus or whatever if they get X amount of cases done. What they find though, which is not common sense, is easy cases first.
And then
versus the
the
long
person that
that
needed
doesn't
help didn't get help because it was just a push through job.
Exactly. So I mean, I think that's part. I mean, that's not a great answer, but I think that is part of the problem. Is that you got to make these folks more efficient, whatever that is, whatever department it is. So, like I said, I know we've sat down and talked with. Well, I haven't. The boss has here, Secretary Shinseki, on a couple of occasions about the VA backlog. You know, and I think they're trying to their benefit to correct it. And their goal is by 2015 to have the backlog, I think, gone. Now, if they're going to meet that goal or not, we'll see. They think they are. You know, they're making some progress. I
By
think.
what year?
Well, next year.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. So, I mean, backlog technically is 125 days. You know, if your claim's sitting there for 125 days, that's technically a backlog. So they're trying to get everything.
That's a long time.
Yeah, 125. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's much.
when you need help.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really putting it nicely.
Sure.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You know, and because I'm a member of a lot of groups, and they've been waiting a couple of years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That should have already been, you know, paperwork's done.
Right. No, it's definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I'd be happy to meet with you guys again Monday. If, what do you guys want to talk about specifically?
Well, honestly, he'll probably win. You know, Arkansas favors those priors.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, and what I've